where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here again from Iowa Speedway as the Slingshot Sim Racing Series rolls back onto the racetrack. This time, they find themselves in the Cup Cars, the NASCAR Next Gen rides out there on the racetrack, just like we saw on Sunday evening. And man, oh man, oh man, the racing action that we saw last night is going to translate hopefully into tonight, and it is going to be an absolutely amazing evening of racing action. See the two ride out there on the racetrack. That is Jeremy Vaughn looking for another good run, another solid performance here, possibly on the evening for that two machine. Ty Dickinson, my boy Ty, the Sweet Tea Gang himself, coming in, showing the love here with that heart reaction. Andrew Hainsley, Andrew coming in with the like and the share. Buttcrack Motorsports coming in with that share on the broadcast as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to set these drivers loose. We'll get ready to go green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Things are about to get wild here again this evening as Mama Bear with the heart reaction. Mama Bear coming in, showing the love as Ty Dickinson says, crap, I gotta pee. This will be interesting. I couldn't make a lap without spinning. Oh no. Oh no. Ty, are the Cup Cars that much more difficult than the trucks? We saw the trucks go 110 laps of green flag racing yesterday. And it would be awesome to see them do that here this evening in the Cup Series. But I've heard from a lot of different people, a lot of different posts that I've seen, is that these NASCAR Next Gens, they are a whole different type of animal out there on the racetrack, and they could be a lot more of a handful. Yeah, but Ty, definitely go take a pee, brother. Go take a pee as Bryce Dickinson, my boy Brycey Bear, coming in, showing the love with the heart reaction and the share. He says, give me trucks. Give me the trucks, he says. Give me the trucks. Yeah, the trucks were absolutely amazing last night. Ty says, I give this race 6 laps before the first caution, and the caution will be me. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the over on that one. I got faith in you, brother. I got faith in you, my boy, that you'll be able to do better than 6 laps before bringing out the caution flag. I got faith, okay? My boy, John Fowler, John Boy, coming in with the like and the share on the broadcast, as well as Slingshot Sim Racing coming in with that share, as well as we'll get ready to set this field loose. We'll get ready to go green flag racing as things are looking pretty feisty here. Drivers are ready to roll. Drivers are ready to go to battle here in this one. Oh man, this is gonna be a ton of fun, chat. I'm not gonna lie, this is going to be an absolutely amazing race, absolutely amazing time here this evening, and we got a lot of good drivers, a lot of talented drivers ready to duke it out here this evening. As starting on the pole in the 45 ride, it's the Monster Energy Machine. That is Nicholas Cody, who is outside in the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine number 19. That is Sean Jessic there in position number 2. Almost got the win last night in the Truck Series. Unfortunately, had to settle for second. He's here looking to try to get a little bit of a rebound and maybe find victory lane in the Cup Series. The 71, the Liberty University Liberty Flame 71 ride, that is Greg O'Berry starting in third. He's got the Popeye 7 ride. Then is James McRae in the Anything EC number 7 machine there in fourth. The Tennessee Titans 93 rider Zach Lockett going to start there in the 5th position. In the Slingshot Sim Racing, number 94 rider John Fowler will start there in position number 6. A great starting spot here for that 94 ride. The Sparkle and Shine Anything EC17 of Michael Madden will start there in 7th. He's got the 2 ride, the 02. That's Shannon Wood starting there in 8th. The 14 of Daniel Doe going to be there in the 9th position. To his outside is actually the 13. Actually, we got those ones backwards. Christian Delgado will start there in 9th, and Daniel Doe will round out our top 10. William McKellar in the Dragon Ball Z ride will start alongside John McNeil there in row number 6 on the racetrack. Chris Smith, Nathan Nixon, Subs Nation there, Timothy Stubblefield going to start in the 15th position. He's got the Race City Racing memorabilia number 24 of Cody DeForge there to his outside. Doug Roth, Ronald Losey, Jeremy Vaughn, Andrew Hainsley, Bryce Dickinson, James Smith, Russell Martin Jr., Ty Dickinson, and Gary Wright rounding out the field. 25 drivers ready to rock and roll here for 150 laps of racing action as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. Quickly, the 45 rider Nicholas Cody on the lap pedal down through 1 and out of 2. He's looking to clear that 19 rider Sean Jessic here down the back straightaway, but a good run on the outside for the 19 ride. A bit of a slide job right there out of the 45 as Cody will slide up in front of Sean Jessic, and he will lead lap number 1. So Sean Jessic gonna slide backwards here a little farther as here comes Greg O'Berry. The Liberty Flames number 71 ride quickly up into position number 2, and he may not be done yet. He's already looking, trying to peek his nose underneath that 45 ride of Nicholas Cody as we see our first caution flag fly. Ty Dickinson was not in this one, or at least I don't think he was in this one. Unfortunately, looks like Andrew Hainsley unfortunately may have ran into some issues here. The Sonic Graphic Designs 29 ride. Looks like he's just going to get a little loose up on the high side here, and unfortunately just looks like he's going to lose the rear end right there up a little high out of the groove, and he's trying to counter steer it, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Ends up just, the car just snaps hard to the right here. You've seen this time and time again. You're counter steering, and then all of a sudden the car will just get a ton of grip, unload, and just push it right up into the outside wall. And that's a heavy, heavy hit right there. And Ty Dickinson, he was almost in it. The Sweet Tiki gang ride thought that he would be the caution flag, but luckily enough for Ty Dickinson, he was able to avoid it here and keep that Michelob Ultra Dirty Monkey Motorsports Black Diamond Mafia Papa Mike Promotions ride out of trouble here. As a close one, but he was able to keep himself out of any kind of contact with Andrew Hainsley. A tough break there for Andrew as Ty says, oof, good thing I peed. That was close. That was a close one right there. You still may need to wipe or check your underpants after that one, Ty, but luckily enough, yes, it's a good thing you would pee and you didn't have to pee yourself there. Seeing that 29 ride almost spun around right there in front of you and almost taking you out of this race early on. Top GG says, did you see the iRacing Dev Hour? I did not see the iRacing Dev Hour. No, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming Dev is development hour, I would assume. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really looked into it or anything. I don't know. Is there something really interesting, something cool that we may have, that we might have missed? I'm not sure. I got loose there and overcorrected the car. Yeah, and we see that time and time again, Andrew. We see that happen all the time. And these things, you know, you can kind of have it counter steered. You can kind of be, you know, slowly correcting the car. And then all of a sudden, it'll just, I'll call Bray to check my underpants. Oh, gosh, Ty, don't put her through that. Don't put her through that. At least not yet, brother. At least not yet. Give it a few more years before that one, okay? Come on now. Don't scare her away. Come on. But yeah, time and time again, we see that car's, you know, it's very, very loose, sliding through the corner. You're trying to counter steer it, trying to get that car corrected, and then all of a sudden it'll just correct itself and it'll just snap hook itself, you know, up towards the outside fence or down low or anything else. And you've seen a lot of tore up race cars because of that one. A lot of tore up race cars there because of that. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here. The lights are still on the official iRacing pace car. It's a good time to shout out some of our sponsors. Dirty Monkey Motorsports jumping on board here with us for the season. Huge shout out to them, and obviously a huge shout out to our series sponsor, Race City Racing Memorabilia, as they came on as our named sponsor here. Scary Strokes also jumping on here with the broadcast, and the series is absolutely insane. Huge shout out there to Scary Strokes. Huge shout out to Anything EC. A lot of Anything EC rides out there on the racetrack, and super happy to have them on board here with the Slingshot Sim Racing Series. And Buttcrack Motorsports. Buttcrack Motorsports coming in as well, becoming a sponsor here on the channel. If you guys haven't checked out Buttcrack Motorsports, make sure you guys check them out over on YouTube and over on Facebook as well. As we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. Nicholas Cody out in front. He's ready to rock and roll, as Mumble Bear says, no Keith Hackney. No, unfortunately, no Keith Hackney here tonight. No Keith Hackney here tonight. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if he's just still upset about what happened in last night's race, which is totally understandable. I'm not sure even still what the black flag was for. I haven't asked anyone, and I don't really talk too much to the admins or any of the officials very often. So unfortunately for Hackney, no number 91 here this evening, but he is locked into the playoffs with the win last week, so he should be able to you know, take a little time off, maybe miss a couple races, and still have the opportunity to race in the playoffs here in a couple months, actually. As out in front, Nicholas Cody leads the way, but Greg O'Berry getting a great run here to the outside. O'Berry looking to try to jump up and take this race lead away. It's been a little while since we've seen the 71 ride in victory lane. He got off to an extremely hot start here in the series. Picked up 4 wins basically within the first 5 races of the series, and he's kind of went stale since then. Look out, Nicholas Cody gonna go around. Heavy contact for Sean Jessic as the 45 ride pointed the wrong direction. Heavy left side damage and back end damage there for our race leader at the time, Nicholas Cody. Unfortunately going around right there. That is a tough break, as caution on lap 5 called it close, Tyler. Yeah, he was very close. He was very close on that. He said he was going to do it himself, John, though. He figured he would make the caution flag. Luckily enough, he was able to avoid the yellow here this evening and keep himself out of the trouble so far. Unfortunately, though, for our pole sitter and our race leader, the 45 rider, Nicholas Cody, not going to get so lucky here. Through 1 and 2, the rear end just kicks out. He's sliding. Fortunately for Sean Jensen, gets in there pretty hard, and some pretty heavy contact for the 19 ride as well. So a couple tough hits right there. And Sean Jensen, I mean, had such a great run going last night, and so close to picking up a win. Take a look right here and see that 45 ride going around. Here Jessic trying to get checked up. You see some more contact there on the back end, as well as I believe his Sparkle and Shine Anything EC teammate may have gotten a piece of him right there. Well, up right on board with Jessic, and you'll be able to see what he sees right from the cockpit. He just sees that 45 ride. I think he's trying to hope that he's either going to come down the racetrack quick enough, or hoping that that 45 ride maybe just keeps sliding through the middle of the racetrack and not down towards the yellow line. And unfortunately did not go to plan right there, and some pretty heavy contact for Sean Jessic. Tough break there. John Schmidt, cars are tricky. I'm just relaxing and having a martini in the back. Oh my gosh. You should be sipping on a macchiato, okay? A little macchiato. Huh? You made me spill my macchiato, Mr. Ricky Bobby. John coming in with the like on the stream, as well as Clifford Bellamy. Michael Dickinson also coming in with the thumbs up, as well as, man, great to see everyone in the chat coming in, showing the love here, as Michael, Clifford, John all coming in, showing the love here this evening, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a few more moments, as these drivers ready to rock and roll and go back to battle. We did see a few drivers head down pit side. We did see Sean Jessic, James Smith, Nicholas Cody, Doug Roth down pit side in the Scary Strokes number 43 ride. I'm not sure what's going on with the 43, as he's kind of sitting not in a pit stall, and I do believe he has been lapped here. I'm not sure if Dunk Roth has lost connection or something, but that is a tough break right there. Sorry, my bad. Drinking a Michelob Ultra. Hashtag sponsorship. Yeah, you gotta shout out Michelob Ultra for certain, Ty. For certain. You can't be cruising around here in that Black Diamond Mafia Papa Mike Promotion Sweet Tea Gang Michelob Ultra number 67 ride. And say you're sipping on a martini when you got the Michelob Ultra ride out there on the racetrack. Come on now, you gotta be sipping on a brewski, a beautiful, light, full flavored, full amazingness of, you know, the Michelob Ultra brand. You gotta be enjoying one of those out there, you know, not driving the car, but during an official, you know, simulation of a race. That is okay. We do not condone drinking and driving. Drink responsibly and play within your limits, and all the other things. We'll throw those up on the screen. You know, non-disclosure agreements and stuff. You know, as Mama Bear says, keep me posted when you race to Mr. Hackney. Yeah, tough break there for Keith, but yeah, I'm not sure what the issue was last night, Keith. It's not on my call. I don't care what it was. I don't know if it was the paint scheme or if it was something that happened during the race or something that was said over race chat or in the Discord. I have no idea. So I'm in the blind on that one. I didn't even know you got a black flag last night, but it's a tough break right there. That's a tough break right there. But good to see you up in the chat, Mr. Hackney. You know, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? What's up, brother? As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Papa Mike in the house as well with the heart reaction on the broadcast and the share here this evening. Papa Mike, how are you? Coming in, showing the love in this one as we'll get these drivers ready to roll, get these drivers ready to go back to green flag racing. If you guys haven't, make sure you please do me the favor. It's absolutely free to do. Helps the stream out a ton. Make sure you like the stream. Drop a couple comments. Hit that subscribe or follow button if you're watching on the Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube channel, as we're currently live on all 3 networks over here at PeaceMaker Gaming, bringing all of the action and all the amazing racing right to the heart of your seat wherever you are, whether you're on the road in a semi-truck, or you're sitting at the nursing home with your grandparents, or you're sitting at home enjoying your evening. You're going to watch some amazing racing almost every single night of the week here on PeaceMaker Gaming. And you don't want to miss any of that action as we are back to green flag racing. You see the 71 of Greg O'Barry getting a great start right there. The 71 ride shot out of a cannon, and he is looking to try to open up a bit of a lead here as the 7 ride of James McRae and Zach Lockett. The Tennessee Titans number 93 ride. Now they're in second and third on the racetrack as Michael Madden back in position number 4, looking for more. A good battle brewing for the 5th spot as the 0-2. That is Shannon Wood and John Fowler battling door to door here for that 5th position. They're stacked up 2 by 2 back there behind these guys as we see Christian Delgado and Nathan Nixon right there. And then we see the 48 of John McNeil and Daniel Doe battling back there for the 9th and 10th spot on the racetrack. The 24 ride of Cody DeForge in the Race City Racing Memorabilia Dirt Monkey Motorsports. That is the Dirty Monkey Motorsports ride. There goes another one of them. Oh, look out, caution flag on the racetrack. More contact, around goes that 24 ride of Cody DeForge. We saw John Fowler run into issues. Nathan Nixon getting collected in that, as well as Cody DeForge. Our 3rd caution flag is going to fly here at Iowa Speedway as we will take a look back at it, as unfortunately here is Mr. Fowler on the racetrack. He was collected in this one, and unfortunately the 94 ride going for a spill. He was able to clear the 0-2 here at quarter number 4. And then he just loses the rear end. The rear end just steps out and around on him. Everyone trying to get checked up. Nowhere to go here for the rock solid ring, sparkle and shine, anything EC number 6 ride of Nathan Nixon, as he gets a pretty hard hit right into the driver's side door of the 94 ride. Unfortunately, that car busted up right front, goes up the racetrack and right into Cody DeForge. And DeForge just nowhere to go here, gets clipped and goes around here himself. Luckily enough, Doesn't look like too much damage to that 24 ride, but possibly a bent or broken toe link with a pretty hard hit right there to that left rear. So hopefully not too much damage for any of those drivers, and we'll see them all continue racing here on the evening as Grango Berry. You've seen him win styles of races like these, short track races that have, maybe a potential of a lot of caution flags. He seems to find himself away to the front of the field, and once he gets that lead, he is very, very tough to get back around, and drivers are going to have to try to get up on top of the wheel and try to find another gear to try to get around that Liberty Flames, Liberty University, number 71. John Schmidt sends breathalyzer at lap 100. Yeah, breathalyzer definitely at lap 100 for Ty Dickinson. He may need one right now, honestly. No, he's doing pretty good back there, a little deeper in the field. But yeah, you'll have to videotape that and send it in for proof. We got to make sure. We got to make sure he's doing it a-okay out there on the racetrack. We can't have any, Michelob Ultra accidents out there on the racetrack. We got to stay clear of those. Got to stay clear of those. As we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a couple more moments. We'll get a quick word in here from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes.
Alrighty, we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here. Unfortunately, the lights are still off on the official iRacing pace car. A couple extra laps here on this caution. They're going to click away, and every single lap counts. As Ty says, Mama Bear, can you go to the store and get me more Michelob Ultra? Mama Bear says, I'm on it. I'm on it, she says. I'm on it. Okay. Mama Bear going for a supply run here. Going for a supply run. We appreciate that, Mama Bear. We appreciate that. I'm sure Ty does as well. He's getting very parched. He's working hard out there on the racetrack, and he needs more Michelob Ultra, and you can never run out of Michelob Ultra. That's one thing you never want to run out of. You want to make sure you're always fully stocked up on Michelob Ultra here this evening, as my boy Zach Lockett, Zach coming in with the like on the stream as well. Zach, my boy, having a great run, a great drive here. Has that Tennessee Titans 93 ride sitting pretty at the third spot on the racetrack right now, sitting very strong, looking very good out there on the racetrack, as Ty Dickinson says, trying to tag them as much as I can. Laugh my face off. Yeah, everybody in the chat right now, make sure you tag Michelob Ultra. Get them in here. Get them in here. Sponsorship deal. You know, I'm drinking a Monster Rehab right now, and if you guys don't know, this is a brand new sponsor here on PeaceMaker Gaming, sponsored not by Monster, but by me. I went out and bought this. I went up there and bought this, but trust me, I should be sponsored by Monster Energy. My gosh, I drink their drinks every single day, almost every single stream. We're shouting them out, and nothing. So good, so refreshing, so amazing, man. Monster Energy keeps us nice and hydrated and refreshed and energized here for each and every broadcast. As we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing, the 71 of Grango Berry, yet again another perfect launch here on the restart. As the 71 ride leads on down at a quarter number 2, James McRae in tow. They're in position number 2 with Zach Lockett rolling. They're in position number 3. Michael Madden trying to hang on to that 4th spot on the racetrack, as here comes Christian Delgado. Delgado right there in that 5th spot. He's been working himself up through the field here, sitting pretty now inside the top 5. 0-2 a Shannon Wood there in the 6th position. Daniel Doe back in 7th. John McNeil in the McNeil Media Boeing, number 48 right there in the 8th position. Then we see the Sim Racing Slingshot Sim Racing number 94 ride of John Fowler. He's battling with our pole sitter as the 45 Monster Energy number 45 ride right there on the racetrack. That is Nicholas Cody, our pole sitter here this evening. We saw him spin early in this race, have that incident. He's gotten that car repaired, and he's worked himself back up through the field, now into the 9th spot on the racetrack, and he's bringing the other car he collected in his spin, the 19 of Sean Jessic, right there with him as the Anything EC. Sparkle and Shine, number 19 ride, right there in the 10th spot as Fowler slides back to 11th. Then we see Chris Smith, Bryce Dickinson, who's been on the move here, the E&D Farms. Papa Mike Promotions, number 84 ride, right there in position number 13 on the racetrack. He's up 9 positions from where he started this evening. Started all the way back in the 22nd position. Finds himself now battling door to door here with Cody DeForge. It's DeForge down low, looking to try to keep these drivers back there behind him, but he's trying to make that pass on the 84, and as they battle door to door, it's allowing Jeremy Vaughn and that 6 ride to slowly hunt them down. Unfortunately here for Nathan Nixon, he finds himself a lap or 2 down here in that 6 ride. Unfortunately for Willie McKellar, also being scored a lap down as the caution flag is going to fly. A car down through the infield. That is the 13 ride of Christian Delgado, who's going to go around. The yellow flag is going to fly here yet again from Iowa Speedway. Let's take a look and see what happens here. Is the 13 ride already loose here on the racetrack? Let's see if we can take another look at it as he was trying to hang on. This X-Star 13 machine just getting very, very loose out there on the track, and unfortunately for the Twitch.tv family, the Christian Boss 13 crew, we're going to get a good look at that 13 ride going for a spin there off of quarter number 2. A quick little slide, and luckily enough, no contact, no heavy damage for him, and luckily enough, he was able to keep on rolling and keep himself out of trouble there on the racetrack. Any more than burning up a set of tires, he'll take his ride down pit side, get some work done to it, and he'll be jumping back out there looking at trying to work himself back up towards the top 5 here. But we do see a couple more drivers also heading down pit lane here. Bryce Dickinson, one of the first cars down pit side here, the E&D Farms, and number 84 will head into his pit box. In with Gary Wright, Ronald Lousy, James Smith, Doug Roth, Christian Delgado, all headed down pit side here, looking to get some work, looking to get some service done to their rides. Maybe some fresh tires, maybe some fuel, maybe a little snack down there on pit lane, and those drivers will be rejoining the field here, and they may be working themselves through the field in a quick hurry. And Papa Mike says, Mama Bear, don't do it. It will make him have to pee more often. That is 100% facts. That is 100% facts. Once you break that seal, there's no going back, unfortunately. Unfortunately, when it comes to drinking any kind of thing, once you break that seal, you're done for. As John Schmidt says, maybe he needs a Depend sponsorship. That's more likely. That's more likely. Ty, you should be tagging Depends, okay, brother? We know you gotta go use the restroom quite often. You might have to get those Depends and just use them. It just depends on how long the race is, and you may have to use those Depends diapers, adult diapers. Oh gosh, that's a scary sight to see inside your head. And Cy Dickens says, Michelob Ultra, send me a free case. Love sweet tea. Oh my, oh my. Send them a free cakes. Get it done, Michelob Ultra. Listen, I'm thirsty. I'm parched up here in Canada as well. Shoot one up to me. I can't tag them. I just tried. Poor Depends. Oh, that's a tough break. That's a tough break for Depends, man. They're missing out. They're missing out, man. It depends on how much they can take a joke. But unfortunately, they're missing out on the action here this evening. Alan Peters is not missing out on the action. Alan coming in with the thumbs up here on the broadcast. How are you, Alan? As Bryce says, depends on how long the race is for the Depends. Exactly. It just depends. That's all it is. And, man, that pun is it'll never die. It'll never die. That innuendo of it depends is never gonna fade away. It lasts. It's almost as strong as the diapers themselves. It can hold a lot, and it holds up time and time again for any kind of a joke. So shout out to Depends on that one. As we'll get ready to set them back loose here in just a few more moments. We got to keep ourselves entertained here during these caution flags. Seems like a little bit longer of a wait here for these ones, as the lights are still on the official iRacing pace car. I do believe we should see these lights turn off the next time by the start finish line, and that's going to really make things interesting here, because the 71 ride of Granco Berry, he's been able to get some good launches, but man, he hasn't really had too many drivers challenge him here. Once he got to that race lead, we haven't had a really long green flag run, and I feel like there's a lot of drivers that have their car set up more for that long flag run, including some of those guys that are moving back up through the field like Sean Jessic and Nicholas Cody. Those guys are usually pretty good long run drivers. Be interesting to see, how they can handle it. Same with, Daniel Doe. We saw him have a great third place finish last night in the truck series. He was very, very good, had a very good drive on the longer runs as well. So we're going to have to wait and see if drivers can clean things up, have a little bit longer of a green flag run, and really see who's got the best car out there on the racetrack. You may have good short run speed, but when it comes to those long runs, you gotta have a car, not only at the start, but you gotta have a car towards the end of those runs as well. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, Granco Berry is out in front, as Ty says, next caution, Sweet Tea's porta potties will get used. They will get used. That is 100% true. I can attest to that. They will probably be used. Maybe not by you, but maybe by me. I may have to go myself. I'll hold it though. We don't want to miss any of the action. As Granco Berry out in front, he gets another good restart, quickly opens up a few car lengths lead between himself and James McRae. McRae gonna try to hunt him down, but he's got a whole group of drivers back there behind him. But look out, as that 17 ride on Michael Madden goes from the high side down to the bottom side, and look out again, Nicholas Cody going for a skid there through corner 1 and 2. He almost went around again, and man, good thing he is full of energy in that Monster Energy ride, as he was able to be quick reactions and quick thinking there on his tippy toes to get that throttle under control, get that car counter steered and pointed back in the right direction here. And luckily enough, not too much damage, and able to keep that car rolling out there on the racetrack. But he does lose quite a bit of time on the racetrack, and now slides all the way back to 14th here, as we do see the caution flag fly once again. So drivers, this may be a good time to use these Sweet Tea porta potties at your disposal here. Go down, take a bathroom break, and make sure you stay on the lead lap. You got to make sure it's quick. It's unfortunately the Scary Strokes number 43 ride. Doug Roth going to run into some issues here, as Doug Roth up on the high side, sends it down in, and the same thing, just that rear end steps out and around. He gets into the apron there a little bit, and woo, close call for Andrew Hainsley, as Andrew almost got a big piece of that one. Good break there for the 43 ride as well. Not a whole lot of damage. Didn't really make much contact with anything out there on the racetrack, but may have used up a set of tires right there. That's a bit of a big skid right there, and unfortunately that can wear your tires out in a quick hurry, as the STP Scary Strokes number 43 going to send it into the corner. You see that car just kicked out, and unfortunately as that rear end gets sent into the corner, it's got no rear traction. The car just washes around on him, and fortunately, he's just kind of hanging on for the ride here at this point. A beautiful look right there at that 43 ride, going sliding up through corner 1 and 2, and then here comes that number 29 right at Andrew Ainsley. Oh, he may have even gotten a little piece of him there. It was tight there between Andrew and this number, that number 43 ride. Things got very close in a quick hurry here. Let's see if we can get another look at it and see if we can get a good look here. That 29 ride, he sees the 43 spun out in front of him. He's trying to avoid him, and yeah, I think he gets away from it. No contact there. Good heads-up driving from the Hainsley Motorsports Sonic Graphic Designs 29 ride, as he's able to pull down low and avoid any additional contact to keep himself pointed in the right direction, as we'll get him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. As Bob Mike says, Ty Dickinson, stop typing and go P. Yeah, stop typing and go P, Ty. My gosh. Yo, Frank Ranger, my boy Frank in the house. What's good, Frank the Tank? Frank coming in with that heart reaction, says, peace, my man. What's up? What's up, Frank? And how are you, Mr. Ranger? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful hump day here Wednesday, halfway through the work week. We're working for the weekend, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for just a day of sitting inside, not even seeing the sun, and just enjoying, you know, the AC, cold drinks, maybe a little pool time here in a couple days, and just kind of chillaxing, relaxing, and not being out in that sun for very, very long. Is my arms, my back, my legs, they're all burnt, and we're sore. We've been doing, you know, lots of hay. We've been doing, we've been also building a pole barn as well. So, you know, we've been up on, you know, rafters, building rafters and everything else for a pole barn while doing some hay at the same time. And more of the same tomorrow. And it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be very, very rough. Tank says, I can multitask, sir. Who can't do that? Carol says, good luck, number 29, Andrew Hainsley, cheering on that Sonic Graphic Designs 29 ride as Hainsley out there on the racetrack. Frank Ranger says, doing well, my man. Frank, love to hear that. Love to hear that. Love you're doing well. As my boy James Garland, James coming in, showing the love. How are you, James? James with that heart reaction on the stream says, let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, James. Mr. Garland coming in, showing the love. And Grandpa out in the chat as well. This is 24, Cody DeForge, past that Fowler car. Oh, gosh, telling Cody DeForge to get up on top of the wheel here and make the move around the Slingshot Sim Racing Series number 94. John Fowler out there on the racetrack. It's always good to see Grandpa Al up in the chat as well. Carol Hainsley also coming in with that like on this stream, as Frank Ranger says, Friday rebuilding my rig, got 3 Curb 32s and new video card. Woo! Frank, we might have to come over to your house and try that bad boy out. That sounds like a heck of a build right there, brother. What did you get for a video card? What did you get? What did you go with? I'm always interested to know whether, you know, you go with you know, AMD, or if you went for, you know, the NVIDIA, or, you know, what did you go with? What'd you go with? But yeah, brother, that's those are sick. The 32-inch curved monitors, you know, the triples. Always so cool, so immersive into the simulator. It's such a cool aspect and cool feel of those cars. The BRs are really neat as well. I only run a single monitor for the racing. I got multiple monitors for everything else that I do, but only single monitor for the racing action. And we're going to get a good look at it right here as the action is back to Green Flag Racing, as out in front, Greg O'Berry with another great restart here over the rest of the field. And so Barry leads the way nice and easy again out of corner number 2. He's able to easily slide up and clear the 7 right of James McRae. Now he's going to try to move around the racetrack, try to find some good lanes here and keep that 7 right at bay. As McRae right there, and good restart this time for that 7 machine. We've seen the 71 open up a few car lengths lead over him, and hasn't really seen McRae trying to, you know, close that gap. But right there, McRae was able to get within a couple car lengths. Unfortunately, there off corner 2, a good run for the 71, as O'Berry looking to try to stretch up that lead and maybe pull away from that 7 machine once again. Zach Lockett right there, he gets up and scrubs that wall, as he's done that a few times here this evening. Gonna be very cautious of that. You don't want to get up into the outside fence too many times, or it may take you out of this race 1 inch too far, and it may be game over. So Zach Lockett gonna have to keep his mind on that outside wall, make sure he doesn't make any contact there with that fence, or at least too much contact, as we see a few drivers making sure they're not going to hit it there, as Lockett Going up the track, the 48 right of John McNeil right there as well. You see the 17 of Michael Madden able to take advantage of the 0-2 as Shannon Wood, as Wood unfortunately got very loose there at corner number 4 last time by, and he ends up losing a couple spots. Now here comes Sean Jessic. Jessic working himself back up towards the front of the field here. He got tied up in the second caution of the evening. Now finds himself there in position number 6 and working himself back up towards the top 5. Shannon Wood there in 7th with Daniel Doe back in the 8th spot on the racetrack. Cody DeForge in the Race City Racing memorabilia number 24 up into position number 9, and John Fowler back there in the 10th spot on the track. As man, some great racing here this evening as Frank says Sapphire, let's scroll up here a little bit, Sapphire AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT 8GB graphics card. That is, I do believe, the exact same thing that I'm running. Really, that's exactly what I got my bad boy right now as well. So it's a good card, brother. You get some great graphics and some amazing amazing performance out of the Radeon stuff. So yeah, 100% a good card, and especially a big upgrade from the 1050 Ti. The 1050 Ti, definitely a huge upgrade. As James Garland says, Anthony, Muse, Brom, and myself will be at Loudon this weekend, but Friday we are going to Boston to race go-karts. What? Brother! I wish I could go to Boston to race go-karts. I want to be racing go-karts right now, okay? I'll race go-karts any day of the week, man. The go-karts are such a blast. I wish. There's no go-kart tracks anywhere near me, so it's got to be a special thing going on to go, into the big cities to find any of that. As Bryce says, uh-oh, everything went black on my screen. Glad to see I didn't bring out the caution. Oh, baby. That is not what you want to hear. It's definitely not what you want to read up in chat, as we do see the caution flag fly. It's not for Bryce Dickinson, luckily enough, but it sounds like a tough break for Mr. Dickinson, as it looks like James Smith and Christian Delgado are going to get into it here just a little bit. See if we can play this one back as, the 10 ride sideways here through the corner. Time and time again, we've seen this here in corner 1 and 2 in the Old Bay Baltimore Orioles. Number 10 machine slideways through corner number 2. Unfortunately, the 6th ride, Nathan Nixon, going to get some good contact there with him. And that K-State, number 13, Christian Delgado, going to get into him as well. And he goes hard up into the outside fence. Heavy contact there for that 13 ride, and a tough break there for the Christian Boss 13 at twitch.tv, as that number 13 Camaro unfortunately finds the outside fence. Heavy damage there for him. Some pretty good damage as well for the Camry there of Mr. James Smith, and unfortunately another caution flag on the racetrack, and unfortunately Bryce Dickinson getting black screened as well. I'm not sure if that's a graphics card issue or what might have happened for good old Brycey Bear, but Bryce is also exited the building. He's off the racetrack. He's nowhere to be found. He has left the building here this evening, and that leaves only one Dickinson left in this fight, and it's Ty Dickinson. The guy who's got to go pee, the Michelob Ultra Machine. It's the Black Diamond Mafia Papa Mike Promotions number 67 ride. Ty Dickinson, currently the hard charger out there on the racetrack, up 12 positions, started all the way back in 24th, and finds himself up into position number 12 right now. So Michelob Ultra ride working himself towards the front of the field, putting together a great race here, and he's looking to try to crack his way inside the top 10, as might be trying to find a way to crack into a 12-pack as well of Michelob Ultras. That's all I can say. As Dickinson luck, says Ty Dickinson. Yeah, unfortunately. And Grandpa Al says Loudon will be hot this weekend. Hopefully the rain will hold off. It will be the first New Hampshire race I miss after many years. Grandpa Al, why are you missing it? Grandpa Al, make sure you get there, brother. Make sure you get there. Get the Loudon. Watch those guys race, man. It's a pretty neat racetrack. Loudon's been one of those tracks that's been around for a long time, and it can be some pretty exciting racing, especially if it's that hot. Obviously, we never want to see rain. We don't want to see a rain-shortened race. If they have to race on Monday, I suppose we can deal with that. But the hot slickness of Loudon in that asphalt, man, oof, it can make for some very, very exciting racing in the NASCAR Cup Series and any of the other series that are there this weekend. So we'll be looking forward to watching those. We'll be looking forward to seeing those guys duke it out and battling there on Sunday night. And hopefully, maybe on the TV screen, we'll see some of the boys. Maybe we'll see James and any of the other boys from the Outcast Racing League there on the big screen on Sunday. That'd be pretty neat. I heard they are bringing rain tires. Oh, that is right. They do rain tires now. So that is probably going to be an option. And if they're bringing them, then that means they'll be racing rain or shine, which could also be very exciting and very fun to watch, as that'll be pretty awesome. Ty says, I'm here to have fun and support Michelob Ultra. Let's go, brother. Let's go. If they didn't have Ty Dickinson supporting them, they wouldn't be a company anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. As Grandpa Al says, I am NC. Hotels were jacked up too much this year. Oh, brother, that sucks. That sucks. That's understandable, though. I mean, like, it's that pricey range or whatever. Hotels and everything else get jacked up. It's tough to, you know, in any type of economy, be able to splurge and, you know, spend a couple days and have the hotel room and the travel and everything else. So, totally understandable, Grandpa Al. As Grango Berry, once again, another great restart here as the Liberty Flames 71 ride looking to pick up win number 5 here on this series. Is that Liberty University's ride has been very, very fast right from the first week of racing action. He's shown a lot of speed in a lot of these other races. He hasn't been able to find victory lane here in a few weeks, but he's looking primed and ready to maybe try to find his way back into victory lane here at Iowa Speedway. James McRae there in second with Zach Lockett back in the third position. Shannon Wood right there in position number 4 and looking for more as the 48 ride. The McNeil Media, number 48, there in position number 5, and we will see the caution flag come back out. The caution flag going to come back out here once again. Our second place finisher last evening, the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine ride of Sean Jessic. Looks like he's going to run into some issues here. He's going to go door to door down this back straightaway. That's John Fowler right there with him. Now, I'm not sure if Fowler comes up or the 19 ride comes down, but nonetheless, they make a little contact possibly, and you see the 19 ride over the nose of the 94. He's trying to hang on to it. Maybe a little contact there with the number 43 ride, but you see the Sparkle and Shine Anything EC teammates there coming together as Michael Madden, nowhere to go, has that 19 parked right there on his front bumper. Some pretty heavy hits for both drivers, and unfortunately, even though the sun's starting to set, it is getting hotter and hotter here at Iowa, and the action is just really starting to heat up here, man. Things are getting a little bit wild out there on the racetrack, as we'll take a look here. Yeah, right there, you do see that contact. Unfortunately, Mr. Fowler gets up, gets in to that number 19 ride, and as they make contact, it just knocks that rear end loose, and Sean Jessic down through corner 3 and 4 is just hanging on, going for the ride here, trying to get that 19 ride, drifting around the corner here, trying to stay out of, you know, going around. The 43 does get a little piece of him there, and unfortunately, the 17, his teammate there, is going to come in and clean him out in a tough break for Michael Madden, and a tough break for that 19 ride. Is both having some good runs, some good drives out there on the racetrack, and now some pretty good damage for both drivers. Let's see if we can get a good look here from Michael Madden's perspective as we'll jump right on board here as they head down the back straightaway. He's looking down low. He's trying to cruise right here behind them. Sun's starting to get into their eyes, and unfortunately, 19 ride right there. His eyesight, eye level, good contact, hard contact, and a ton of damage there for those drivers. So a tough break for everyone involved there as we will get them all ready to roll here once again. Now we're going to get really into the point of pit strategy. Pit strategy is going to be a big thing. We're over 50 laps in this race. We're already into our final 100 laps. You're working on 90 laps left to go out there on the racetrack. Now, what do you want to do when it comes to pit strategy? Do you come down a little bit early? Do you try to get some tires on now, or do you try to save them for later in the race? If there's abundance of caution flags, you may be able to use those older tires on the restarts and keep yourself in a pretty decent, area for 2, 3, 4 laps if they're on the racetrack before the next yellow, and being able to keep yourself up there and towards the front of the field, holding that track position, maybe saving that extra set of tires for late in the race could potentially be a game-winning move here. And we haven't seen the 71 rider Greg O'Berry come down pit side yet. James McRae, Zach Lockett, Shannon Wood, John McNeil, a lot of these drivers we haven't seen down pit road since the drop of the green flag, so it'll be interesting to see when they decide to head down pit road here, as we're going to get a quick word in from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave.
Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing out in front. The 71 of Greg O'Berry looking for the restart here down through the Geico restart zone. He quickly jumps back onto the loud pedal and he gets another great launch. Some great restarts there out of that 71 ride, trying to keep everyone back there behind him. Got a flat-footed in back there at bay as he gets a lead down the back straightaway. Quickly, a couple car lengths between himself and James McRae. McRae still hanging on a second here. A good run for him and a great run here for the 93 of Zach Lockett. Is Lockett right there in that third position, and it's a battle back here for position number 4. The 0-2 ride, that machine to Shannon Wood trying to hang on to position number 4. John McNeil trying to get that Boeing 747, the Boeing 48 ride. The McNeil Media Machine towards the front of the field here, and he's trying to break inside the top 4. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get that run, but here comes Nicholas Cody. Cody, our pole sitter, has had a very, very fast race car here all evening long. We saw him go for 2 spins down through corner 1 and 2. He's had a couple issues there trying to keep that car underneath of him. Saw him go around early in the race. He almost went completely around a second time here as he was working himself back up through the top 10, and here he is back into that 6th position, hoping to try to keep that car underneath of him, not letting that rear end slip out and go for a slide, as this late in the race he may be in for a world of hurt if he continues to get more and more damage onto that 45 ride. It's Cody DeForge right there behind him, the Race City Racing memorabilia 24 ride, trying to hold on to 7th as Daniel Doe looks down to his inside. The Sparkle and Shine Anything EC number 14 up into the 7th spot. Now as the Forge slides back to 8th, now back to 9th. There's a big run right there for the 17 ride. Another Sparkle and Shine Anything EC ride there into position number 8. Ty Dickinson continuing his strong run here. Going to work himself up inside the top 10 as we do see the caution flag going to come back out here once again, and this time I believe 8 is the number 2 rider, Jeremy Vaughn. Going to run into some issues here. That Grip Hackney line, House of Speed NLR Team Conti Heartland Harley Davidson ride. Run into issues right there at a corner number 2. There's another car spinning before him. That is the 94, John Fowler. also going for a spin there as well, unfortunately for the 2 ride. I think he may have saw this one happening and got onto the binders as you see the 94 way up there in front of him. He's going to go around first, and as he goes around, I think the 2 ride getting a little loose himself. Getting some oil down on the racetrack right there as both drivers running into issues and maybe running through a little bit of a slick spot out there on the racetrack, and they're both going to go around. And look there at the 2 ride going for that loop-de-loop, and take a closer look at John Fowler going for a ride there as well, as unfortunately for the Slingshot Sim Racing number 94 ride, the man with the plan, the master man here, John Fowler. Second time he's ran into some issues here himself, and go down into the corner and unfortunately back onto the throttle, and that rear end just steps out and goes around on him. And luckily enough, no contact with the wall, no contact with any of the other drivers out there on the racetrack, and he's able to keep that thing pointed in the right direction as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. A great look there at the Black Diamond Mafia Papa Mike Promotions Sweet Tea Gang Michelob Ultra 67 ride out there on the racetrack, looking fresh once again this evening as the Dirty Monkey Motorsports machine ready to go back to battle, and he's looking to continue his march up through the field, up 14 positions. Started all the way back in the 24 spot, now finds himself up inside the top 10, and he may not be done yet. Ty Dickinson thought he wasn't going to do very good here at this race, but the Iowa boy showing some Iowa speed here, and he's working himself up through the traffic and up through the field. Slowly but surely he's cracked himself up inside the top 10. Granko Berry, though, has been the class of the field here this 71 ride. Got the race lead early in this race, and he has not held back. He's continued to keep marching up through the traffic here, looking very, very good as Ty Dickinson says, look, Mama Bear, I'm going fast. You're going fast, Ty. You're going fast, buddy. You're going very fast out there on the racetrack. But let's see you get a little faster and maybe get that 67 ride up inside the top 3 here and up into the broadcast booth for a post-race interview here this evening as Mama Bear says, I see that. I see that. We see you out there, Ty. We see you out there, brother. Don't you forget that. I see everything that happens out there on the racetrack, okay? Not a whole lot gets by me, okay? We see everything out there. As we'll get them racked up, stacked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a few more moments. We're going to get another lap around as we'll get a good look here at the field as Greg O'Berry, the Liberty Flames, Liberty University Camaro out in front, continuing to lead the way. James McRae there in second. And we see Zach Lockett in position number 3. Shannon Wood there in 4th. John McNeil in the McNeil Media Boeing number 48 ride there in position number 5. He's got our pole sitter in the Monster Energy number 45. It's Nicholas Cody in that 6th position. The Sparkle and Shine Anything EC14 of Daniel Doe there in 7th. His teammate in the 17 ride, that's Michael Madden there in 8th. Cody DeForge, the Race City Racing Memorabilia number 24 ride there in position number 9 in the Michelob Ultra 67 of Ty Dickinson rounding out our top 10. William McKellar in the Dragon Ball Z 41 ride rolls there in 11th, and the Barbershop number 92 ride, the Stubbs Nation machine of Timothy Stubblefield there in position number 12. Chris Smith in the 13th spot has Nathan Nixon back there behind him. Then we see the 5 ride as well of Ronald Lousy. We see James Smith in the 10, Russell Martin in the Buttcrack Motorsports number 20 ride there in 17th. John Fowler back there behind him. Gary Wright, Doug Roth, Sean Jessic in that 19 ride, rounding out our top 21 on the racetrack, and 21 drivers on the lead lap here is Jeremy Vaughn. In that House of Speed 2 ride, the first car 1 lap down, Christian Delgado, Bryce Dickinson, Andrew Hainsley bringing up the rear of the field as we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing. Down through the Geico Restart Zone, another good start here for that 71 ride of Grango Berry as O'Berry looking to get a good launch down into quarter one and out at quarter number two, looking to try to open up that lead. Is door to door for that second spot. The 93 is Zach Lockett trying to work himself underneath the Toyota there of James McRae for position number two. Then go door to door down the front straightaway here. Zach Lockett looking and trying to work himself up towards the front of the field. Shannon Wood there in position number four, and John McNeil right there, as well as Nicholas Cody running into some more issues here. That Monster Energy 45 ride, he has unleashed the beast here this evening, and that car, I'm telling you, it's been evil here all evening, and unfortunately, I think he may have had some help here with this one, but you see that rear end kicks out on him again. It loses the front end. He almost gets into the 48. Counter steers it, recorrects it. Unfortunately, as he does that, the car goes straight up the racetrack, and some pretty good right side damage there as he gets up, pancakes the outside fence, and again going to lose a ton of positions on the racetrack here. So another tough break there for that 45 ride as he rolls in position number 10 right now. He's got Ty Dickinson trying to work to his outside, and the 24 ride of Cody DeForge as well. Willie McKellar has found himself a way up into position number 8 here as the Dragon Ball Z machine. They're in that 8th spot on the racetrack. They're all trying to hunt down Greg O'Barry, though, as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're halfway in and halfway to go here from Iowa Speedway. Crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here from Iowa. as the caution flag is going to fly here during our Rank It Up session. We will take a look back and see what happened here as we ride right there with the 92 with Timothy Stubblefield. We'll take a look back and see what brings out the caution flag here yet again. As it looks like Daniel Doe gonna run into some issues here. The Sparkle and Shine number 14 ride. Getting the EC machine down through corner one into it. Slick down there. Unfortunately, it's very, very loose. Oh, hard up into the outside fence. For that 14 ride, heavy damage and hard hit as he takes that car right down pit side here. Take another look at it as this car just cracks loose, and unfortunately, as it does, he's trying to counter steer it, trying to keep it safe out there on the racetrack and out of more trouble. Unfortunately, that car just snap hooks up the racetrack, and as it does, it goes right into the outside fence. Look at the contact right there. All four tires up off the air, and see that whole front end just absolutely destroyed. Heavy contact up into the safer barrier here at Iowa Speedway. We have seen the 14 ride, though, get up and out of that car. The driver is A-OK and walking around. He will go down to our AMR safety crew, and he'll get checked out down in the infield care center. A tough break right there and a tough way to possibly end the evening for the 14 ride at Daniel Doe after a great run last night. Coming home in position number 3. That is looking very bleak as we do see a driver down here into Dixon, Stubblefield, John Fowler, and a lot of other drivers headed down pit side, getting some work done to their cars and ready to rock and roll here for this restart. We still see Michael Madden down there getting more work done as he rolls out the 45 ride of Nicholas Cody, maybe trying to take some big swings here at this 45 ride as it's been very loose here all evening long. He's been very fast, but unfortunately that car has been tough to look out as Ty says, I took out Chris Smith on that caution, avoiding that. I feel awful. Oh no, Ty, now we got to take a look back at it. I saw you check up quite a bit. Didn't see Smith spinning or anything, so we may have to play this one back and see if we can get a look at it. As definitely don't want to see that, but we gotta see. As yeah, we do see Chris Smith also getting possibly collected here as Smith was working down to the inside of that 67 run. I'm assuming Ty may have just drove down the track here to avoid the 14. He does, and unfortunately clips that Toyota number 9 machine, the Casey Kane throwback ride in. Oh, man, Chris Smith hard backwards into that outside fence. Heavy contact there for him as Michelob Ultra ride. This may be a perfect time for Ty Dickinson to take that breathalyzer and see if that driver's A-OK out there on the racetrack. I'm just joshing. It's simulation, unfortunately. Nothing but hurt feelings and hurt pride here on the racetrack, and unfortunately, might be some hurt feelings right there, as I'm sure the Toyota number 9 machine of Chris Smith was not expecting that one in. Fortunately for Ty Dickinson, feeling awful about it. Definitely didn't mean to clip him, and unfortunately, pretty good contact there and some pretty heavy damage for the 9 rod, but he is back out onto the racetrack, so looks like it's pretty good. It's okay. I apologize. He understood. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yes, thank goodness for certain, as you never want to make any enemies. You only want to make friends out here on the simulator, out there in iRacing, whether it's pavement, dirt, road, or anything else. You want to be able to make yourself some friends out there on the racetrack. You don't want to create any rivalries, as rivalries only lead to one thing, and that is not a good time. And as long as everyone's out there having a good time, then we're always having some fun up here in the broadcast booth. As the lights are off, the official iRacing pace car. And that means we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. As the lap's been clicking down here. Lap 88 up on the board. We'll see them go back to green flag racing on lap 89, which means we're going to have 61 laps of racing action left here in front of us. That is still a lot of laps, still a lot of racing left to do here tonight, as we get ready to go back to battle, as Willie McKellar out in front, James Smith now in second, Russell Martin Jr. Brango Berry back into the 4th spot here, as O'Berry and the rest of our leaders all came down pit side, so they're going to have fresher equipment than what McKellar and Martin and Smith have on their rides, and we'll wait and see if the fresh equipment can work themselves back to the front of the field, or these other drivers may be able to hold up and give them a fight here as McKellar down through the gears. Quickly onto the lap pedal here as that new race leader under the green flag. Is that 41 right as Willie McKellar out in front, showing the way here. Looking strong out on the racetrack. It's a good launch and a good run as you see the 10 right up the racetrack here. Here comes James McRae with a big run to the outside of Russell Martin Jr. McRae has also found a way around Greg O'Berry as O'Berry trying to work himself around that number 20 ride as well as the 71 and the 7 ride looking to try to work themselves towards the front of the field once again. McRae, though, hasn't been able to get these restarts, and he hasn't been able to find a way around that 71 ride. But down through some of that slower traffic, drivers that didn't come down pit road last time during that caution flag, he was able to pick through them pretty quickly and find himself a way around that 71 now. That number 71 has to try to figure out a way to get back around both of them, but a spin deeper in the field. The 0-2 rider, Shannon Wood, going to go for a spin, and the caution flag will fly here yet again. As it looks like Shannon Wood, unfortunately, going to go for a spill here as almost 3 wide. I see Sean Jessic down the inside, the 93 up on the high side, and unfortunately just contact down low, and Don McNeil going to get a little contact into that as well as he gets into that 0-2 ride, as unfortunately Shannon Wood, I'm not sure if the 19 of Jessic might have just threw it in there a little bit too deep here and gotten into the 0-2, or I don't know if the 0-2 definitely would have been his line as he was more than a car length clear. I think the 19 just unfortunately stuffed it in there a little bit too far and makes contact there with that left rear of the 0-2 ride, and the 48 and the 0-2 come together there and up into the outside fence goes Shannon Wood. Some pretty heavy contact, pretty heavy damage there for the 48 and the 0-2 ride, and another caution flag. A close call for the 10 machine right there as, man, that was a big miss right there for James Smith as he almost got collected in that one. Same with the 1 ride. Oh, the 1 ride of Gary Wright does get a piece of Shannon Wood right there. That was a big hit right there. That may have done it for both drivers here on the evening. As let's take a look back at Gary Wright. Jump right on board here with this one machine as he sends it into the corner. He sees the smoke and everything happening in front of him. And here's 0-2 sideways right there on the high side of the racetrack. Unfortunately for Gary, just could not get low enough and checked up quick enough to avoid then 0-2 machine, and pretty heavy damage for both drivers there after that one. So tough break for a couple tough competitors out there on the racetrack. Looks like they need tires. There might be a few drivers out there that may want some new tires, but do you take them now or do you take them later? You may need them late in this race. They may not be a big of a deal here because we haven't really had too many consecutive green flag laps in a row. So with these caution flag laps and cruising around the racetrack, cooling them back down and really not getting these big long runs, you might not need necessarily fresh tires, quickly in this race. You may be able to sit back and hold off on those fresh tires for quite a little while and maybe have an extra set for late in the race to use to your advantage to maybe drive up through the field and towards the front of the field here later on in the evening. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, how all the strategies unfold as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying this racing action, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube, as these guys have been putting on a great race here for us in this one. As Frank says they get 2 sets this race. See, I'm not 100% sure. We can take a look and see if we can see how many sets they get. So they actually get 4 sets of tires during this race, so they have lots of tires. There's no limit on tires basically for this race, but the point is, 4 sets of tires, you can burn through them pretty quickly. You might be able to hold an extra set of scuffs or something back there behind pit wall, but the more tires you can have later in this race, if you're finding yourself deep in a hole and farther back through the field and a couple late caution flags where you can use those fresh tires to your advantage, may put yourself into a podium run, maybe a victory here this evening. So be interesting to see how it all plays out in this one. As Frank says, damn, I'd take now and then later. Yeah, well, I mean, they may have already taken a set or two. They may already have a couple sets that are worn out. So they may only have a couple sets back left behind the wall. Taking one right now may not be worth it. If we have a couple late race caution flags, you may want a couple sets, maybe one set to kind of work yourself up through the field to see if you can get there. And if you can get through traffic pretty quickly, it never hurts if you get a 3-lap run. You can kind of gain 5, 6, 7, 8 spots on the racetrack. See that those fresh tires really make a huge difference. And if you see another caution flag, you come back down, get another set of fresh tires, and do it all over again. Make those passes and maybe make a final run to the front of the field. Lots of strategy, lots of thought that goes into each and every one of these drivers' performances here on the evening. And that is always a big one. When do you take tires? When do you take fuel? When do you need to save out there on the racetrack? As Iowa is known to eat up tires here, we've seen a lot of drivers that have had issues sliding through the racetrack and around the racing surface. Having those fresh tires may help you out and keep that car a little bit more planted here. But you don't want to run out of tires quickly as our race leader, the 41 ride of McKellar, sees the green flag fly here once again from Iowa Speedway. McKellar trying to hold on to the top spot, but a big run down into quarter number 1 and out of quarter number 2. Door to door for the race lead is James McRae, looking to try to take this top spot away from that 41 ride of William McKellar. McKellar trying to hang on to it is right there behind him. You see Sean Jessic working himself back up into that 3rd spot on the track. A great run and a rebound here for that 19 ride as he's able to roll around Greg O'Berry. O'Berry trying to stay glued right there to his back bumper. Unfortunately, cautions breeding cautions. And another caution flag will fly here as things were just starting to heat up at the front of the field. As down across the line, we'll see lap 99 go up on the board here. We're almost 2/3 of the way through this race. Still a lot of racing action left to go here. Still a lot of racing, still a lot of action left to be had as it looks like Nathan Nixon in the rock solid rigs. Sparkle and shine, anything EC, number 6 ride. They're running into some issues here. Sends it into the corner. The rear end just snaps out and around on him here. Skids off the racetrack hard into the outside fence. And as he gets planted up into the Iowa corner number 2 logo, we did see Ronald Losey and Jeremy Vaughn also run into issues here. So we'll take a look and see what happened between the 5 ride and the 2 ride out there on the racetrack. Is up on the high side, he's going to try to drive down, unfortunately, as he tries to get down underneath of that number 6 machine. He gets up into the outside fence right there. Heavy contact for Ronald, as we're going to take another look at this one and see if we can break this one down as he sends it into corner number 1. Not expecting anything to happen in front of him. Unfortunately, the 6 ride is going around. He tries to drive down the racetrack to avoid it. Gets loose himself, overcorrects it hard up into the outside fence, and there you go. You see that 2 ride. Jeremy Vaughn sliding through there as well. As Vaughn going to do almost virtually the same thing, as he's going to get loose himself and spin that car around, possibly to just trying to get onto the binders, trying to keep himself out of trouble with any of the other drivers there. And fortunately, just kind of gets into a wheel hop there through 1 and 2 and locks him up and gets that car spun around sideways. Luckily enough, not too much damage out there for that 2 machine, as we'll get them all ready to go back to battle here. We do see Ty Dickinson, the Michelob Ultra Black Diamond Mafia, Papa Mike Promotions right down pit side. Jeremy Vaughn also headed down pit road. Lousy already down there. Doug Roth headed down pit side. Gary Wright right there with him coming down pit road as well. So some late race pit stops here by some of these other drivers. I can't really say late race, as we still got just under 50 laps of racing action left to go here in this one, as Frank says it never ran this track. Yeah, it's a pretty tough racetrack. It's a pretty tough racetrack. We saw some great racing here last night in the Truck Series, and some great racing here again in these Cup cars. But these next gens, they're a whole different animal, and they can make you pay for mistakes in a quick hurry. And unfortunately, a few drivers have found that one out here in this one, as Ty says, got into the wall right front damage for Ty Dickinson. Ty, you know you're not supposed to get into the wall, right, brother? That's the track limits. You're not supposed to go past those limits, you know? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to hit the wall, brother, just to keep it off the wall. I'm just kidding. I'm joshing you. Good to see him back out there on the track, trying to get that car fixed up and rolling here, pointed in the right direction again, and hopefully not too much damage there for that 67 machine, as he'll get rocking and rolling and see if he can work himself back up through the field. As we'll see if we can get these drivers ready to roll here once again, as Frank says they drive a lot looser than trucks in Xfinity. Yeah, they are a lot looser. They are totally different than what the Xfinity and the trucks are. They are a whole different animal. You get onto the throttle a little bit too soon, they will break loose and break traction in a quick hurry. You gotta really be glued to the racetrack. Keep your throttle inputs very easy and smooth and fluid. If you're jamming the brakes or jamming the gas pedal, you can spin those tires or get into a wheel hop in a quick hurry and put yourself into some tough situations. And all these drivers battling not only tough track conditions, but a tough race car here at Iowa Speedway, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing after this quick commercial break from Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters.
Alrighty, as we're going to go back to green flag racing here with 46 laps of racing action left. As a little contact, beating and banging around goes the 7 right of McRae, the 71 trying to hang on to it. There goes Greg O'Berry. Hard into the outside fence, as well as the caution flag going to come right back out here in this one. Heavy contact here on the restart. My gosh, what in the world was going on down here into corner number 1, as Greg O'Berry getting a good restart here right there with the 41 right of McKellar. McKellar, our race leader here. He is the first car to launch. So he's going to use that Geico restart zone to his advantage. Gets a good restart. The 71 ride, a good restart there as well. 71 comes down the racetrack, and then McRae just going to use the 71 ride right there, unfortunately, as a brake pedal. And, you know, sometimes 8 wheels turn better than 4. Unfortunately, McRae, I'm not sure if he went to hit the brakes and hit the gas pedal. I'm not sure what happened right there, but nonetheless, he gets hard into the back end of that Camaro, and the Liberty Flames, Liberty University ride, trying to hang on to it as McRae slides sideways up the racetrack. Heavy front end damage there for him, and then you see Greg O'Berry trying to hang on to this 71 ride. Unfortunately, as he's trying to counter steer, it goes up the racetrack and gets hard up into that outside fence. Look at that car lift up off the ground right there. That was a very ferocious hit, very heavy hit there for Greg O'Berry. Look at that car. Oh, man, that was a very heavy hit. Tough break right there for the 71 ride, as I'm not sure what was going on that restarter, what may have been prompted for the contact here between himself and this 7 ride. We'll take another look at it and see what happens as James McRae sends it down in there. I mean, nothing wrong from the 71 ride here on the restart. He didn't jump the restart. He gets a good start behind our race leader. And, oh, he went a little too fast right there. Let's play it back. And he crosses down over him here. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with what he did. The track was open. And he was even able to have a couple car lengths here on this 7 ride into the corner. And then 7 ride just drives it in there a ton deeper. And unfortunately uses up that back bumper of that 71 ride. That one's a tough call for the committee and everyone that has to make those tough decisions. And this is the 7 ride going around there. Oh, unfortunately for James Smith, he also gets hard contact in that one as well. The 10 ride hard up into the outside fence right there. Let's take another look at Smith here on this yellow flag as he gets hard up into the wall as well. He's going to get a little contact here with the 7 machine, and as he does, it just kind of clips him and washes him straight up into the outside fence as well in the Old Bay. Baltimore Orioles number 10 ride getting some heavy damage there as well. A tough break there for Mr. Smith out there on the racetrack. As tough breaks out there for some of these drivers on that restart. We also saw the 94 ride of John Fowler running into issues here as well. Looks like Fowler may have missed a shift right there. Unfortunately for the 9 ride of Chris Smith, a tough break and a tough lap there for the Smiths as the 94 on through the gears here. Just looks like he misses a shift. The car basically stalls on him right there, and some hard contact into the back end. He washes down into the infield there. He's back out onto the track, but let's take a look here. Let's jump on board with this 94 ride and see if he does miss a shift here on this restart. We saw this a couple weeks ago in the Truck Series for John Fowler, and we'll take another look at it here. Oh yeah, see, he goes to shift into 3rd right there, and unfortunately he downshifts into 1, and oh man, he's lucky he did not blow the motor out of that number 94 ride there. Is getting her up into the 8,000, 9,000 area for quite a little while, banging it off the chip, and whew, it was a close call right there for John Fowler, which may have been a saving grace as there was more contact and issues in front of him, but you don't want to do that too many times. That's going to tear up your equipment in a quick hurry. As Brian Granger says, wow, that was crazy. That was crazy. And Moa Bear says, a lot of laps left, Ty. You can get back up in the top 10 again. We got faith in Ty to be able to work himself up through the field here and try to get that Michelob Ultra ride back inside the top 10. And he's right on the cusp of it as we restart here. I do believe in the 12th position on the racetrack here as he's got Doug Roth right there to his inside. But out in front, Willie McKellar looking for a big restart here. A couple of those fast cars that were around him now gone out of the picture here. So now it's Zach Lockett down to his inside, and McKellar able to use the Geico restart zone to his advantage. Gets a great restart right there quickly back onto the loud pedal, and he opens up a couple car length lead as you see Sean Jessic trying to work himself around the 93 ride here of Zach Lockett. Lockett looked very good early in this race as well. The 19 ride, he's definitely found a lot of speed here. We saw it last night in the Truck Series. We see it here in the Cup Series. In the 19 of Sean Jessic, trying to get one spot better than he did yesterday. Trying to park that 19 ride up in victory lane. And here comes the animal. The monster ride, the monster energy machine of Nicholas Cody, who's had numerous issues here, losing the handle of that 45 ride. And Nicholas Cody back up inside the top 5 here. So, and this 45 has been absolutely zooming out there on the racetrack. As we see that battle at the front of the field continue to rage on. It's the 19 ride taking a peek down low on William McKellar. McKellar was looking to maybe go down low. The 19 thought he was going to, and tried to go to the high side. Had to get into the binders there to avoid contact with Willie McKellar there. Good piece of driving by the 19 ride to not make that contact and not have an issue there through 1 and 2, and still hold on to second place as the 93 was looking to try to make the move around him. Unfortunately, could not get the run he needed, as now Sean Jessic can have another run trying to hunt down that Dragon Ball Z number 41 ride of McKellar here for the race lead. John McNeil continues his solid run and solid performance here as the 48 ride rolls there in position number 4. Nicholas Cody there in 5th with Michael Madden In position number 6, the Race City Racing memorabilia, number 24 ride of Cody DeForge. They're in position number 7 on the racetrack with Nathan Nixon. The Rock Solid Rigs, Sparkle and Shine Anything EC, number 6 machine rolling there in 8th. He's got Grant Goberry back there behind him. O'Berry still with some pretty good right front damage on that 71 ride, but he's got himself up inside the top 10, and then we see Russell Martin right there as well. A great run here for the always beautiful Bugcrack Motorsports. Number 20 ride as he's right there inside the top 10, looking for a great day here on the evening, as Timothy Stubblefield there in 11th. Jeremy Vaughn saying consistent and strong out there on the track as he rolls there in 12th. And we see Gary Wright, James Smith, and Ty Dickinson rounding out our top 15. It's unfortunate. It looked like Ty Dickinson running into some issues here in the Michelob Ultra 67 ride. His lock may have ran out right here as he goes for a slide down into corner number 1, and goes for a slide and trying to correct it. Almost saved it right there. He does save it, but then it's very loose again, then hard up into the outside fence right there. A lot of these drivers able to avoid him. He's able to keep that car rolling while everyone goes by him. He gets stopped and quickly takes the 67 right off the racetrack. But man, what a tough break right there for Ty Dickinson. Heavy contact, heavy damage, and definitely not the way you want to see his evening come to a close. As he's jumped up into the chat, says, I'm out. That was a blast. Move up to let the bumpers go by, and by me and messed up. Oh well, hey brother, you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. We know you'll be back out on the racetrack next week in Fast and Furious, and looking for another good run, another solid performance next Wednesday as well. And a good run, a good solid performance here in this one, but definitely another long race. We saw the truck race last night was a bit of a long one. Luckily enough, it went better than what we could have hoped for, and luckily enough, as all the action kind of didn't happen till late in the race, we didn't see an abundance of caution flags. But man, it was a lot of fun. As John says, man, I had a crazy night, good to bad. Yeah, John, you are having a great run here this evening as well. Did you take the car off the racetrack, John, after you missed that shift on that last restart there before the big wreck in corner number 1, as we do see the Slingshot Sim Racing 94 ride down pit side here, as very beautiful looking ride, very beautiful, good looking car. The Race City Racing memorabilia, Dirty Monkey Motorsports ride down pit side here, as too many X's for John Fowler. That's a tough break right there, as we do see the caution flag fly here. Another yellow flag out there on the racetrack, and more carnage gonna ensue here this evening, as Ty says, still a badass league, working to secure myself in the playoffs. 6 minutes of repairs left, waiting for another caution. Laugh out loud. Yeah, unfortunately, even when you have that many repairs, the caution flag comes out. Those repairs, I do believe, or at least they used to add in, if you towed or anything else, they would get a little longer. So I'm not sure if you're towing or if you got that car down pit side, but hopefully we can get that car nice and repaired here, as we did see Sean Jessic able to take the race lead away from William McKellar. But then we see Cody DeForge running into some issues here himself, as the 24 ride gonna get some contact with the 17 of Michael Madden. They both go slideways here. They both get hard contact down into that inside wall. Heavy damage for that 17. Both drivers turned around, pointed the wrong direction there in corner number 2. And we also saw the 48 rider, John McNeil, run into some issues here as well, possibly, as he comes out at corner number 4. He gets very loose, washes up the track hard into the outside fence there as well. With some carnage here this evening, as a lot of drivers have ran into that issue. These cars getting loose. You're trying to counter steer, trying to correct that car, and they just snap hook up towards the outside fence. And we've seen a lot of drivers have this issue here on the evening. And oh man, tough break right there for the Boeing 48 rider, the McNeil Media Machine, as he's having a good run, basically up inside the top 5 here throughout the evening, as starting to run out of cars out there on the racetrack, as Mama Bear says, it's okay, get them next week. Glad you had fun tonight. Yeah, that's the main thing. As long as you had fun, as long as you had a good time, that was a lot of fun. Ty says, I got it down pit side, and I didn't want to cause a caution for the leaders. Yeah, that's commendable move right there by Ty Dickinson, is keeping yourself, even if you get into that outside wall or have some issues, to not just stop on the racetrack or spin yourself around again to get that yellow flag, to take that the knock on the chin right there and get the car down pit side. And even though you're going to lose a ton of laps and have a lot of repairs and not have that caution flag, it keeps things rolling, keeps things green, keeps things moving. As too many caution flags, and we could be here for 3 hours and see this race go to unfortunately a time limit. But I don't think we're going to get to that point. The laps have been clicking down here, and we will see this race finish hopefully in the next 26 laps, but we may have NASCAR overtime. And the way things have been rolling here this evening, NASCAR overtime is a very clear picture that we may be getting it. There's a good chance that we may have NASCAR overtime here at Iowa Speedway this evening. Now, I know there's a lot of drivers throughout the field that may want to see that, as that may give them another chance at picking up a win here this evening. But I can tell you right now, one driver that does not want to see a late race restart is this 19 ride of Sean Jessic. It was a late race restart last night that unfortunately took this 19 from heading to victory lane back into position number 2. He still finished on the podium, but unfortunately the late race restart saw the 83 machine able to jump up and beat that 19 right across the line, and Blake Murray was able to pick up the win. Jessic had to settle in for second, and I don't think he wants to see that same finish repeat itself here this evening. Even though it was a great finish, it was a lot of fun. They put on some great racing for us. I'm pretty sure he wants to just be able to set sail from this point on and run away with possibly the win here tonight. It's Jessic out in front, William McKellar there in second, Zach Lockett in position number 3. Nicholas Cody there in 4th, with Greg O'Berry back up inside the top 5. Nathan Nixon there in 6th, and then Timothy Stubblefield there in that 7th position. Jeremy Vaughn up into 8th with Gary Wright there in 9th. Cody DeForge back in the 10th position. Then we see Russell Martin Jr. back in the 11th spot on the racetrack. Michael Madden rolling back out onto the racetrack there in position number 12 as James Smith, the first car, 1 lap down here. He's in the 13th spot. Don McNeil down a couple laps here as well, or a lap out there on the racetrack for the 48 ride. Then Ronald Lemsey a couple laps down. We see Christian Delgado a few laps down there for the 13 ride. Ty Dickinson still down pit side getting repairs done to that 67 ride. Doug Roth off the racetrack. John Fowler down pit side, unfortunately X out of this race. James McRae, Chris Smith, Shannon Wood, Daniel Doe, Bryce Dickinson, and Andrew Hainsley all off the racetrack as well, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as the pace car makes that hard left-hand turn back down pit side. We're going back to green flag racing here at Iowa Speedway. Sean Jessic quickly onto the lap pedal, gets a great restart, a great launch to see Zach Lockett rolling up into that second spot as Greg O'Berry hang on to it. O'Berry almost goes around right there. O'Berry sent it in. He was on the back bumper of that 41 ride. He was pushing him here, trying to help him maybe jump up into the lead or into second, trying to get that good launch down low and helping that 93 up through the gears. And unfortunately, as he does that, he's going to get a shot right there. The 6th rider, Nathan Nixon, going to get a piece of him here. So we do see a little contact here between these two as Nathan Nixon going to get in there a little bit deep, and right there going to give a shot to that 71 ride. And unfortunately, that's just going to knock the rear end loose there on that 71 of Greg O'Berry. Look at that car, man, almost completely sideways. More contact there as the 6th ride gets another piece of him and some pretty heavy damage on that 71, but he's able to keep it pointed in the right direction, keeps it rolling, and still battling out there on the racetrack as he's in that 7th spot. He's got Jeremy Vaughn and Timothy Stubblefield right there behind him, but out in front, Sean Jessic leading the way here. He's opening up a bit of a lead, now out to a 7/10 of a second advantage between himself and Zach Lockett, as Lockett trying to hold on to position number 2 is William McKellar right there in 3rd. Here comes our pole sitter, Nicholas Cody, trying to work himself up onto the podium is Cody DeForge inside the top 5. The Race City Racing memorabilia 24 ride having himself a night here this evening as he's there in 5th. Nathan Nixon, the 6th ride there in 6th, and then Greg O'Berry in 7th. Jeremy Vaughn, Gary Wright, Timothy Stubblefield, our top 10. Russell Martin and Michael Madden rounding out our lead lap drivers there. Our top 12 on the lead lap is James Smith, John McNeil, Ronald Lousy, and Christian Delgado still out there on the racetrack. Our top 16 still rolling out there. Unfortunately, a lot of other drivers either off the track or out of this race already. So a tough break for a lot of these drivers as Grandpa Al coming in with that like on the stream. How are you, Grandpa Al, coming in, showing the love here this evening. Drop that thumbs up here on the broadcast. As some great racing, some great action, and it's Sean Jessic out in front looking to try to run away with this one. Now, the next question's going to be late race restarts. Who may have an extra set of tires? We do see a caution flag fly. Oh, man, that was not planned. I swear to God, literally as I was talking about a late race restart, what are you going to do? If you have an extra set of tires down behind pit wall, when do you take them? 18 laps left to go. Do you come down pit road, throw those tires on now, use those to your advantage here in the closing laps, as we'll be going back to green flag racing with probably about 14, 13 laps left to go in this race, and could potentially put yourself into a winning situation, as we're going to see, unfortunately, the 2 ride of Jeremy Vaughn, the House of Speed, Papa Mike Promotions, Grip Hackney Live, number 2 ride right there. Just, ooh, the rear end just absolutely kicks out underneath of him here as send it down through 4 and just out of corner 4. That car just snaps loose. Unfortunately, trying to save it, gets more loose, comes down the racetrack in through the grass there, and luckily enough, not a whole lot of contact or damage for that 2 machine to Jeremy Vaughn. He's able to keep that car pointed in the right direction, so a good break there, at least for the 2 ride. I'm sure he didn't want to see that caution flag or be that caution flag, but luckily enough, no heavy damage, and he'll be able to keep on racing here as that car get loose right there. He's trying to save it. A little back and forth, Unfortunately, it's a little too much there for Jeremy Vaughn, and goes for a slide down through the grass, but keeps it in one piece and able to keep on living another day, as we'll get them all ready to roll here once again. Sean Jessic out in front, and we did see some drivers head down pit side here. Let's take a look here, as we did see a lot of drivers head down pit lane. Our race leader did not come down pit road. The 45 ride, Nicholas Cody, actually didn't come down pit side as I thought he would have, but it showed that he didn't, so a little fake job there. We do see Timothy Stubblefield down pit road. 14 ride also down pit lane as well, as I do believe that's the 14 ride. Who is that car? You see the 10 still out there. Jeremy Vaughn down pit lane. It's the 48 ride of John McNeil coming down pit side again there. The 48 ride, the Boeing machine, down pit road, trying to get some more work done to his car. So, few drivers headed down pit road. I thought we were going to see a little bit more drivers come down pit side and maybe take some tires if they had them and see if they can use them to their advantage late in the race. But not a whole lot of takers, but we may see some drivers like Timothy Stubblefield able to work themselves up through the traffic. Maybe even Jeremy Vaughn, after going for that spin, possibly had a fresh set of tires back behind the pit lane, and he may be able to use those to his advantage and work himself back up through the traffic, up inside the top 10 again. James Smith, he's going to get that wave around back onto the lead lap here, so we'll have 13 drivers on the lead lap when we go back to green flag racing. So a good break there for the 10 machine, as out in front, Sean Jessic. I don't think he wanted to see this yellow flag, but nonetheless, he's going to get ready to try to hold these drivers off late in this one and trying to put himself up into victory lane like he tried to last evening. Just could not get it done, as we'll get a quick word in here. The final time here in this live racing action from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP Party Pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes.
Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Iowa Speedway. 12 laps left to go here when we see this green flag fly. Possibly a 12-lap shootout. Is that our final caution flag, or do we see another yellow before the end of this race? Does the 19 rider Sean Jessic hold on to pick up the win, or does any of these other drivers left on the racetrack knock him off that top spot and take another win away from that Anything EC Sparkle and Shine 19 ride? We're about to find out as the official iRacing pace car will make that hard left-hand turn down pit side and unleashing the field again to our race leader, Sean Jessic, as Jessic with a great launch and a great restart as he's back onto the lap pedal, gets a great run down into corner number 1. He's looking to open up a big lead here in a quick hurry, trying to run away with this one as contact back there behind him. Look out, 3, almost 4 wide down the back straightaway. Zach Lockett off into second here as William McGallagher going door to door with the 6 rider Nathan Nixon, as Nixon right there trying to work himself up into third. Here comes Nicholas Cody. Grango Berry right there in the picture, as well as Cody DeForge. The 1 rider Gary Wright up into 8th as here comes Michael Madden, Russell Martin Jr. The 2 rider Jeremy Vaughn trying to work himself back inside the top 10 with Timothy Stubblefield, James Smith, John McNeil, Ronald Lousy, Christian Delgado, and Ty Dickinson back out there on the racetrack, as well as Sean Jessic leads the way here. He's already out to an 8/10 of a second lead here between himself and our second place driver, Zach Lockett, as Lockett has had himself a very strong evening here all night long. This number 93 ride has looked very good as Willie McKellar, the Dragon Ball Z machine, up into third here once again as he will work himself around the rock-solid rings. Number 6 ride of Nathan Nixon as Nixon back into position number 4 and looking for more as our pole sitter Nicholas Cody up inside the top 5 here. He's looking to try to find himself a way back to the race lead late in this race. So isn't Grango Berry, as O'Berry there in the 6th position. Still some pretty good right side damage there for that 71 machine as Cody DeForge in 7th. Jeremy Vaughn up into 8th here. So the 2 ride making some moves and some ground late in this race. Russell Martin Jr. trying to hold on to 9th. The 92 of Timothy Stubblefield, the Stubbs Nation machine, working himself up into the 9th spot on the racetrack. A good run down low for the 92 ride as he's looking to jump up and clear the 20 machine. Couldn't quite get around that butt crack motorsports ride of Russell Martin Jr. Gary Wright just on the outside of the top 10 with James Smith and Michael Madden there in 13th. Our lead lap drivers as Michael Madden, the last car on the lead lap. Unfortunately for Michael, though, he did have to make an unscheduled pit stop. And the 17 ride now finds himself the first car 1 lap down on the racetrack. And Sean Jessic out in front, 9/10 of a second now between himself and Zach Lockett. So he's stretching out that lead a little by a little. Fortunately for the 93 ride, he hasn't been able to make up a whole lot of ground, but we do see the caution flag fly. The yellow flag going to come back out here in this one. Timothy Stubblefield collected in it. It does look like the 2 rider Jeremy Vaughn may have also been in that one, as well as the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield. Go around here. Looks like some pretty good contact off the oh man, looks like Jeremy Vaughn maybe just pushing that 2 right to the limits. Unfortunately getting slideways there. Washes up the racetrack right in front of the 92 ride, and Stubblefield just couldn't quite find that brake pedal quick enough, and gets into him, helps him go around. You see Ty Dickinson, the 10 ride of James Smith all trying to avoid him here, as Smith does get a little contact there. As fortunately for that 2 machine, very, very fast late in this one. Did have that fresh set of tires there. He's working himself up through. Unfortunately, just loses the rear end, pushing it. Launches up the track right over the nose of the 92, and Stubblefield nowhere to go there. Gets a good piece of him, and then a good piece for the 10 ride as well, as he slams into that 2 machine. Luckily enough, didn't look like too much damage for a lot of these drivers, but that 10 ride has seen some better days as James Smith down pit side here. Going to try to get some work done to it. He's going to have to back up and roll it back into his pit lane, as the crew will go to work and try to get that car fixed up and back out onto the track, as drivers making some more late race pit stops here. Interesting to see what's going to happen here once again. None of our race leaders, though, our top 9, going to stay out on the racetrack, including the 17 ride of Michael Madden. So let's get that wave around back onto the lead lap. So a good break there for Mr. Madden, as he'll rejoin the lead lap drivers, as Jessic did not want to see that caution flag, as I do believe that will put us into NASCAR overtime, as Penny L says, go Nader. Cheering on Nader out there on the racetrack, as Nader rolling in position number 4 and looking for more out there on the racetrack, rolling that rock solid rig, sparkle and shine anything EC6 ride in position at number 4. He's looking for more. He's got a lot of fast cars all around him, though. Willie McKellen right there in front of him. Greg O'Berry back there behind him, and a lot of other hungry drivers trying to work themselves up inside the top 5. As Cody DeForge there in 6, Nicholas Cody, Russell Martin Jr., Gary Wright, Michael Madden, Timothy Stubblefield, and Jeremy Vaughn are lead lap drivers here left in this one, as we will get them ready to roll once again in just a few more moments. Alrighty, so we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments out there on the racetrack, waiting for the lights to go off on the official iRacing pace car, as we believe we will see the one to go this time by the start-finish line. There you go, the lights are off, the official iRacing pace car, and that means these drivers will all get lined up. We'll get ready to go to battle for NASCAR overtime as the sun is setting here over Iowa Speedway. The lights are turned on, and things are about to get wild here for the possible final restart of the evening, possibly our final restart of the day. Sean Jessic maybe having some flashbacks from last night, lost it on a late race restart, and unfortunately brought it home in position number 2. Is it going to be the same story here for the 19, or is he going to be able to finish this one off and put himself into victory lane? We're going to find out here as the pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn. He's going to head down pit side, and we're going to see these drivers duke it out late in this one. As the pace car, left-hand turn down pit side, down through the Geico restart zone. Here we go, possibly the final restart of the day. Sean Jessic up through the gears and looking to try to disappear here. Has a good start there as well for the 6 ride. Nathan Nixon quickly looking to the outside of Zach Lockett. Lockett trying to clear him though down the back straightaway. Couldn't quite get the run he needed as they go door to door for position number 2. That's exactly what Sean Jessic needed as they can duke it out for that second spot. He rounds corner number 4 and sees that white flag fly. So only one more lap around for the 19 of Sean Jessic. Jessic leads the way by over half a second down the back straightaway for the final time this evening. Still door to door for position number 2. Nathan Nixon, Zach Lockett, McKellar right there within striking distance is out of quarter number 4. Our race winner at Iowa Speedway is gonna be Sean Jessic as Jessic gets the win here, a much deserving win on the week for Sean Jessic as he parks the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine 19 ride up in victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for the 19 ride as he picks up the win here today at Iowa Speedway. What a run and what a drive there for that 19 ride. Zach Lockett going to come home in second with Nathan Nixon in position number 3 as we'll get ready to pull all 3 drivers up into the broadcast booth here for post-race interviews. Our top 3 going to get in here for those post-race interviews here in this one. I'm sure Sean Jessic is going to be pumped about getting another win here in the Slingshot Sim Racing Series and getting a big one here at Iowa Speedway after a very up-and-down day for himself. William McKellar, a great run back in 4th, and then Grango Berry rounding out our top 5. Cody DeForge, a good run in the Race City Racing memorabilia number 24 ride as he comes home in 6th with Nicholas Cody, Russell Martin Jr., Timothy Stubblefield, and Michael Madden rounding out our top 10 here in this one. Jeremy Vaughn back in 11th with Gary Wright, John McNeil, Ronald Lousy, James Smith, Christian Delgado, Ty Dickinson, Doug Roth, John Fowler, James McRae rounding out our top 20. Chris Smith, Shannon Wood, Daniel Doe, Bryce Dickinson, and Andrew Hainsley rounding out the field here this evening as we'll jump up into the broadcast booth here with our top 3 finishers for some post-race interviews. We'll wait for these top 3 to jump up into the waiting room and we'll get our race winner up into the chat here as man, what a run and what a drive here this evening for all these drivers. Man, they put on a heck of a show here for us, man. A lot of, a couple caution flags, a lot of contact, a lot of beating and banging, but man, it was a lot of fun here again this evening as we'll pull Sean Jessic up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Sean, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I got you.
Sean, man, what a run, what a drive. Take us through this one. A long day at the racetrack. Another 150 laps around Iowa Speedway for yourself. You unfortunately came home one spot shy of the win last night, but here you are this evening, backing it up and getting another shot here with that late race restart. You make this one count. You don't give up that top spot, and you're able to bring the 19 ride into victory lane here in the Cup Series, man. It's got to feel pretty good to be able to get this one and to be able to find yourself up in victory lane.
Hey, yeah, man. I told you I'd come speak to you again tonight. So, it was just a race from hell. I mean, I was involved in just so many different things. I mean, I think I could have tried avoiding that first wreck I was involved in a little bit better. But I mean, there's only so much you can do on tires that cold and, you know, running on a track that hot in the beginning there. I mean, we only had about, I think it was lap 8 that was probably the 3rd green flag, you know, lap we've had there. So it was going to be pretty tough to slow her down and stop it. So, I mean, I just got shuffled back there, worked my way up, and then decided to go on some pit strategy and try and get myself a tire advantage with my teammates there. And I don't think it worked out for any of us. I mean, we just couldn't stay green tonight. I mean, last night was just so much fun, and it was just so much better. I think tonight's race was 50 laps shorter, but I think we took longer too.
It was
no one likes driving around the track at 50 mile an hour. So.
Yeah, it was definitely very, very close in start to finish times. That is for certain, and definitely a lot more caution flags. We saw that 110 lap green flag run yesterday, and we didn't quite get that here in this one. It would have been nice from time to time, especially to be able to see drivers that can run a little bit better on the longer runs compared to the shorter runs. But we saw a lot of contact, we saw a lot of controversy, a lot of drivers having up and down days, including yourself. I think the only clean car throughout the evening here was really out any issues. Might have been the 93 ride of Zach Lockett, but other than that, everyone else pretty much tied up in some sort of an issue or two out there on the racetrack, and yourself included right out of the get-go. Things couldn't have started any worse for you, but they couldn't have finished any better for you here tonight.
You got that right. So powered through, got all my 4 or 5 minutes of damage total fixed up. Brought her home with some wheel damage, but it's all right. I came home in the spot I wanted.
Absolutely, brothers. You parked the 19 right up here in the Iowa Speedway victory lane. Who would you like to thank for such a strong run and strong performance here this evening?
I'd like to thank Sparkle and Shine. Anything you see, Sean over there. I know he does a bunch for myself and my whole team. Again, thanks to my team there. Rev Racing. I know there was a couple of us here missing tonight. I know Adam's got to move, and I think Sean just got back from vacation, so it's been tough for us all to be here together again. I'm looking forward to all racing together again. We put in practice for the race, and that definitely helped me out on those shorter runs there. I know I was working on the longer runs. I was hoping we would have gotten at least 1 or 2, but we didn't really get any. But still being able to go turn those laps before, just putting that work, helping each other out. I know Nate Nixon had a pretty rough night too there, and he was still able to bring it home P3, and I know that's just through the work that we all do together, and we all earn these spots. We're not backing into them, getting luck. We're some of the most unlucky people here on this, and we're just working for it. Again, thanks to John for putting on this league. They're both doing a great job cleaning it up, and hopefully we're getting fewer and fewer races like this. And again, thanks to you for putting this on. I look forward to maybe not so much this one, watching this one back.
Absolutely, brother. An absolutely amazing race. A lot of craziness that unfolded, but a lot of fun out there on the racetrack, man. A great run by yourself as you're able to park yourself up in victory lane here tonight. You called it yesterday. You're going to be back up here in the broadcast booth, and you're definitely called that one as you're the first one in here up in victory lane. We can't wait to see you back out there next Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll be right back up here in the broadcast booth again next week.
Yeah, I don't want to go call my shots because I really don't know where we're racing next week, but at least one of those days, I think that's good. Sound good for you?
That sounds good for me. For sure.
All right. See you next week.
All right, Sean, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our race winner, Mr. Sean Jessic, as Jessic comes home with the win here this evening, picking up the win in that 19 ride. A very good run, a very strong performance as he parks it up in victory lane. We'll get ready to pull in our second place driver, the 93 rider, Zach Lockett. As Lockett with a great run and a great drive here himself, as Jason, Mr. Gunnels, coming in showing the love over there on the Twitch channel. How are you, Jason? Jason coming in showing the love here this evening. Says, hey, what's up, Jason? What's up, Jason? What's up, Jay? How are you, my dude? How are you, brother? How you doing this evening? As Jeremy Vaughn says, well, it was a interesting race. Lost power early and got back only 4 laps down. Well, you were able to work yourself back on the lead lap here in this one and up inside the top 10 there for a little bit until a couple late race issues, but that number 2 ride finding some speed late in this one and almost a solid top 10 run there for Jeremy Vaughn. Another very good run for himself and just striving through, working himself through it and keeping that car, for the most part out of trouble this evening. As says this track doesn't look like the tricky triangle, out. It doesn't look like the tricky triangle, but it's definitely one of those very, very tricky racetracks. That is for certain. It's a very wild card kind of race, and unfortunately, a lot of drivers found out the hard way that this is a wild racetrack, and it can be very, very tough, especially in these next-gen rides, as we'll get ready to pull our second-place finisher, Zach Lockett, up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Zach, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Hey, yep.
Zach, man, a great run and a strong performance here for you this evening. Probably one of the only cars with really any issues or getting tied up in carnage here this evening as you keep that 93 pointed in the right direction and up inside the top 3, top 5 here all evening long. You dealt and battled with so many great talented drivers here on the evening, and late in this one you're able to hang right there, keep yourself in that second spot, hold off Nathan Nixon and his hard charge trying to beat you there for P2. But, man, a great run and a solid performance here for you, man. Take us back through this race.
Yeah, I definitely wish we could have got a little bit, longer runs. I felt like my long run speed was going to be really good. I really started to rip around the high part of the track, as we got later in the runs on our tires, and was good coming off 4 there, and just didn't have enough for Greg in the beginning of the race, and then Sean at the end of the race. Props to him, he kind of came out of nowhere, but felt like I had top 3 speed, just really, and then the restarts too, man. I mean, everyone was getting such good restarts, and I felt like I wasn't getting the best restarts. And then next thing you know, you're side by side someone for a lap or two, and the leader can kind of do whatever they want at that point. They can just kind of take off and get a couple second lead, and it's hard to make up. But I think with a longer run, I might have had a better chance. But definitely happy to work around this top 5, top 3 all night.
Absolutely, a very strong run and very strong performance here for you. And as I said, just not quite enough there for O'Barry early in this race, and not enough there late in this one. And those restarts, definitely the prime spot to have that top position. We even saw it there with William McKellar for a little while as you get that launch at the front of the field here, being able to time those restarts perfectly, kind of keeping everyone a little bit more flat-footed back there behind you. You can get that quick launch, work yourself out to a few car length lead, and that's really what you need late in this race. And the 19 ride of Jensic was able to play that perfectly, get that launch that he needed, where he kind of brought that other car up to your inside. You guys duke it out and battle for position number 2 on the racetrack, and that really allows them to open up a bit of a lead and kind of cruise away in that top spot. And he was able to do it there in those final restarts and use that to his advantage to pick the win up here this evening. But man, still a very good run, a very strong performance by yourself as you pull that number 93 ride, the Tennessee Titans machine, up into position number 2 here this evening. Man, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here on the night?
Yeah, shout out to everyone at Victory Motorsport, Red Sea Racing. Love racing with those guys. We had, I think, at one point everyone in the top 10. It's awesome. I love working with them, and it's like, you don't want to rub fenders with anyone because they're teammates, but we're also able to work together on restarts and that kind of stuff. So, because they're a bunch of great guys, but really great time racing with them. Can give a shout out to my girlfriend Erica, letting me race here multiple nights a week. Tonight's a pretty late one, so appreciate that. And shout out to you, Aaron, in the booth, doing a great job. Really love your broadcast, love your streams. Put a lot of time, a lot of energy into this, so really appreciate what you do for this league. And of course, got to give a shout out to the Titans. Looking ahead to September here already for football season, so looking forward.
Absolutely going to be another great year of football, and still a lot of great racing left to go, and good runs like these, and some good momentum being built for the 93 ride. We might be able to see yourself picking up a win, and maybe the Tennessee Titans picking up some early wins in the NFL season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to, I think next week is New Hampshire, and then Nashville, and a couple tracks I'm looking forward to, Pocono and Indianapolis later here in the year. So, yeah, man, I think my win's coming. It's for now I just want to continue to stock these top 10s. I missed the first few races, and really my goal was to make the playoffs. So still working on that in the playoff picture for now. So I got to keep putting together some good runs.
Absolutely, brother. Well, you've been getting them here lately, and another good one here tonight as you park the 93 ride up on the podium in position number 2. Congratulations on the great run here tonight, Zach. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Zach Lockett as Zach comes home in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for that number 93 machine. As we'll get ready to pull our third place finisher, Nathan Nixon, up into the broadcast booth here. Quick shout out to my boy John McNeil tuning in over on the YouTube channel. Says, awesome run, Zach. Absolutely amazing run there by Mr. Zach Lockett. Our second place finisher is our third place finisher. Waiting on standby here. We're going to pull him up into the booth. Hey, Nathan, it's Aaron up here, the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going, Aaron?
Not too bad, Nathan. A bit of an up and down day here for yourself at the racetrack, but you're able to battle through it. Keep that car pointing in the right direction late in this race, and we saw you duking it out there in those closing laps with the 93 Zach Lockett, and unfortunately he was able to get just in front of you across the line, but still a very solid run, a very solid rebound of a day, as a lot of drivers, after getting bounced around a few times like yourself, a lot of them may hang up the, may throw in the towel, might give up on the race and really not try to keep on with it, but you're able to just keep your head in the game, keep on rolling out there on the racetrack and rolling with those punches. You end up with a solid top 3 run on the evening.
Yeah, I definitely did not expect it, and I was actually talking to the guys like, I don't know if it's worth me sticking around, and then I don't remember what the deciding factor was, but I'm glad whatever it was got me to stay in it. But I used my last set of tires earlier than or not my last set, my middle set, and so I thought I was going to get ate up, and then saw McKellar up there for a while. I think he had 100 and something lap tires at the finish, and he finished 4th. So I think I was doing pretty good.
Absolutely, yeah. McKellar doing a great job there with some older tires on the racetrack and being right there at the end of this one. And that's the main thing, being there at the end, keeping yourself kind of out of trouble throughout the majority of these races is the way to do it. And we saw a lot of drivers that struggled early in the season that may have gotten tied up in some of those early wrecks. It will have some good finishes here this evening. May not be necessarily the fastest cars on the racetrack, but let's stick with it and end up with some good runs here. We saw Russell Martin up in 8th, and Timothy Stubblefield. We saw Jeremy Vaughn and Gary Wright up inside the top 10 there for a little while, all having some very good solid runs here this evening, after a lot of other drivers ran into issues, and opened up the door for some big runs from some big drivers here tonight, and you're able to kind of use some other downfall from other drivers to your advantage to put yourself in this position for a top 3 performance here tonight.
Yeah, no, it was a fun one. I know there was a few, probably too many cautions than we would have liked, but these cars are, after last night in the trucks to tonight, it's such a world difference, and you really got to learn patience in these cars, because they don't turn quite as well as the trucks do now.
Absolutely. We saw that here all evening. We saw the 110 lap green flag run in the truck series last night, and virtually 50 laps less on the starting order here. We only ran 150 laps here at the Cup Series, ran 200 laps in the truck race, and the truck race virtually took the same amount of time, if not less time, than what our 150 lap race did here with these trucks. So pretty easy to tell that drivers are having their hands full a lot more here with these Cup cars, and seeing the difficulties and all the drivers sliding through corners 1 and 2 and out of corner number 4, as just get onto the throttle a little bit too soon, and you can spin those tires and spin yourself around in a quick hurry and put yourself into some tough situations. And you found a couple of them. Unfortunately, couldn't avoid some of the other action that happened out there on the racetrack. But still being able to pull it up here on the podium has got to be a very good feeling and a very good run for yourself here tonight, Nathan, as a third-place run, a third-place performance. Who would you like to thank here on the evening?
Yeah, as always, the Sparkle and Shine Anything EC guys, they're great. Rev Racing wouldn't be where it is without them, and Rock Solid Rigs. And I was gonna say, hopefully you weren't out throwing hay around all day today like yesterday's, so it was a little more manageable. But no, those are my main ones. Had a good Father's Day, so happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back talking to you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see her right back up here in the broadcast booth. Maybe not just once, but maybe twice next week as the Truck Series and the Cup Series back in action, and we'll see you back out there. And hopefully next week I won't have any hay or anything else. We did have more hay today, and in the process of building a pole barn as well, a big pole barn. So we were up on top of the ladders, doing rafters and everything else. And yeah, it's been a lot of sawing, a lot of heavy lifting, and man, I'm tuckered out. I'm ready for the weekend and ready for not seeing the sun for a couple days. That's for certain.
I can imagine that down here in California. It's getting pretty toasty.
Yeah, we've been having a heat warning for the last like 3 days, 4 days. I don't think it's breaking anytime soon. I don't know what it would be in Fahrenheit, but we were high of like 42 degrees Celsius today, which has got to be around like 100. Something like
I
that.
don't remember exactly, but I do deal with Celsius because my bosses are in Europe, so
Yeah.
I know the Celsius and
Yeah,
metric game.
107.6.
Yeah, I knew it was up there.
Yeah, that is insane. That is insane. Yeah, it's been way too hot. I've been just pounding back waters and drinks and Powerades and everything I can to kind of survive the last few days. And I'm definitely ready to crush some Michelob Ultras throughout the weekend.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you made it, and thank you for your broadcasts. Always good to watch the next morning while I'm working, So I'll be watching this one for sure.
Absolutely, brother. Well, a great run, a great drive by yourself here this evening. Congratulations on the third place finish, and we hope to see you back up here in the broadcast booth next week.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Nathan Nixon. Is Nathan coming home here in position number 3 on the evening, as we're going to get one more thing to do here before the end of the night. It is our Butt Crack Motorsports position giveaway here. So a random number generator here for our drivers in the field tonight. A random number will be drawn. That number is a corresponding finishing position. That position, whichever driver finishes in that position, will earn themselves an extra payday here. Brought to you by Butt Crack Motorsports. We're going to be jumping in and seeing who is going to be that lucky driver to earn themselves an extra little bit of a payday here. Brought to you by Butt Crack Motorsports. We'll double check the number here. Double check the number, make sure that there was 25. I do believe there was. There is 25 drivers who started here this evening. So we got 25 loaded up. Minimum number is 1. Maximum number would be number 25. Whichever number it lands on, the corresponding position of that number to the driver will win the prize. So we're going to click through it a bunch of times. We're just going to kind of fly through, and then I'm going to stop. I'll tell you when the next time we press the button will be the winner. So we're going to hit it a bunch of times, kind of just get it cycled through, let it kind of, refresh itself here a little bit. So we're just going to fly through it. We're just going to fly through it here. We're going to stop right there. So the next time we hit generate, the number that pops up right here will be the winner of the Butt Crack Motorsports giveaway here this evening. Okay, here we go. Number 15. So the driver who finished in the 15th position will earn themselves an extra payday here this evening from Butt Crack Motorsports. So I do believe that is James Smith, who ended up picking up that win. Finished in the 15th position. He is the 15th place driver, and that means that he is going to earn himself an extra bit of a payday here from Butt Crack Motorsports. So huge shout out there to James Smith getting that extra little bit of a prize here this evening. So shout out to him, and shout out to everybody tuning in, showing the love here throughout the evening. Everyone coming in with the love here tonight, as Jeremy Vaughn says, pick me right here, laugh out loud, and then says wrong number, piece, wrong number, laugh out loud. Yeah, unfortunately, the wrong number for you, brother. A couple shy. You just needed to have a little bit worse of a night. That's all you needed, Jeremy. That's all you needed, just to have a little bit worse of a night, and maybe you would have been in that 15th position. So, that just means that you were having too good of an evening to earn that extra bit of a payday, brothers. Just means that you're too good. You're too good. But listen, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares. I thank each and every one of you guys, and I will see you guys all back here. I don't think tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night I'll probably be taking the night off. I'm probably going to bed as soon as I get home, or maybe taking an ice bath and then taking a nap. But unfortunately, we don't have a broadcast tomorrow evening. The Sweet Tea Gang Redemption Tour has a week off tomorrow night, so we'll probably try to get a little shut-eye, try to go to bed a little bit early, and get recharged for hopefully Friday, which will hopefully be a very short day, but we will be back in action Friday night as we'll get some more racing action Friday evening, as we'll be back on the racetrack with the MNT series, as their Cup cars will head to another racetrack, and we'll see some more racing action there with those guys in just a couple days. But listen, thank y'all for tuning in. I can't thank you guys enough for watching and showing the love here throughout the evening. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, drop a couple comments, and make sure you follow and share. Turn those bell notifications on, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out for now.
Rooks, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes.